Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to Mexico City. Man, you're in for a treat today. You get to see me suffer and you also get to play tourist from the comfort of your chair. What more could you ask for? So, this is about a 20-minute ride up to the mountain that I ride at. And all this is city streets. Let me tell you a little bit about the city. So, Mexico City is at about a bit over 7,000 feet. It's like 7,300, something like that. That's like 2,200 meters if you're on metric. To put that in comparison, Boulder's at about 5,000 feet, or I think it's like 1,800 meters, something like that. And Boulder, Colorado is where a lot of pros love to train. Oh, oh, am I gonna die? Ah, man, this is a bad idea. Yeah, so you probably saw that coming from a mile away. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. So this is my first time back on the bike in about, man, what, like 8 days? Um, for you guys that ride a lot, saddle sores, man, they suck, and they suck even worse if you let them get worse. So I uh, I decided to take a rest week. I don't think I've taken a week off since I started riding. So, man, I really missed getting on the bike, and today was a lot of fun. So I'm on the streets over here. You can go at about the same speed as the traffic. There's a big misconception that it's dangerous to ride in Mexico City. And, it's partly true, but traffic over here is pretty slow, so if you get hit, you'll survive. So anyway, this is the foot of the climb, the Cerro de la Estrella. This is my climbing mountain. I ride up here about 3 times a week, and man, it's a pain. It really is. It's a baby climb. You're only talking about a mile and a half of real climbing, but trust me, all of it is real climbing. Average grade, if I'm not mistaken, of about 7.5%. But this effort right here, you're 10 to 13% grade, and no matter who you are, that's never an easy ask. Now, in my situation, I'm out of shape, and the thing that really slows you down here on these climbs in Mexico City, as you can imagine, is the elevation. Man, the air is thin at 7,000 feet, especially when you're climbing. Um, Again, I'm going off of distant memory here, but I think on your tippy toes at the top of this climb, you're looking at about 8,000 feet elevation. The air is thin, and there's quite a bit of pollution in this part of the city. Heck, there's a lot of pollution in Mexico City, period. But it just goes with the territory in these larger cities. So anyway, a lot of people on the path today. Um, it's hard to go anywhere in Mexico City without running into people. In the metropolitan area, you're looking at 8.9 million people. Compare that to New York City at 8.4. So, a lot of people here. A lot of people to watch out for. I'm going to take it pretty easy on the descent today, watching all these people. And moving up, as you see more of this climb, there's a lot of debris on the road. A lot of cleaners and trimmers out here, and because of that, lots of hazards. Don't really want to end up on my butt out here on my first YouTube video. So anyway, this is the climb. You can probably hear my breathing right now. It doesn't sound pretty. It's not going to get any better. I'm struggling. I'm already out of breath, but I came here to get to the top, so that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, why all the struggling? I'm training to compete. I don't have any illusions at 27 years old of being a competitive racer ever. But I think in amateur racing, man, there's a lot of room to have fun. Uh, like a lot of people over the pandemic, I picked up a bike seriously for the first time to pass that time. And while I was in my hometown, I was putting in about 10 hours a week, something like that. 10 hours a week, flat grounds. I saw a lot of gains when it came to speed, and so I love progress. And I don't know, maybe I could be a decent cyclist one day if I keep putting in the time. So anyway, I was putting in about 10 hours a week. I was doing 150-mile flat runs and whatnot, and leaving Mexico, or I'm sorry, leaving California and returning to Mexico City. I got introduced to elevation first, and then also climbs. Where I come from, the Central Valley of California, um, everything's pretty flat. It's a flat desert. I live in the bottom of a bowl, and over here, everything is climbing. It's the name of the game. And man, if you live in the city, you've got like 3 or 4 good mountains you can go to really challenge yourself. This one, for example, is in the middle of the city. I mean, this is a volcanic mountain, and man, to have something like this 20 minutes away from your place, not many people can say that. So I'm up here, I'm suffering. My hypothesis is if I just train really hard and I force myself to breathe this thin air and to struggle under it, I could get pretty strong, I think. I'm not training with any power meters or really any tech, um, and I'm basically basing these efforts off of what other people are doing. So, for example, the Strava KOM up here is about, it's just touching 13 miles an hour. We're at 12.9. And the best I've ever done up this almost mile effort is 10 miles an hour, which is right off that top 10 leaderboard. If I touch 10 and a half, I mean, I could get in the top 10. I see that happening in the next week or so. Again, today I'm super out of shape, but I've got a lot in the tank once I get acclimated again. Look at that guy. Man, what a legend. So anyway, I'm pushing my way up here. We're almost at the end of this. Um, I'm working hard. I'm out of the saddle, and you know, life is not too good. Look at that guy. Is that pity in his face? I think it is. So we're almost here at the end, but the real stinger on this mountain is just how tough it is at the end. We're going back up to about 10 to 13% in this final stretch. You've got false flat, and now here we go. So, I'm thinking now that I'm doing about 10 miles an hour, I should probably get arrow. So here I go. Uh, I love using the drops for a high grade sprint. I feel like I can put out a lot of power this way. But man, no power's coming out in this session. This is more just habit. And I'm sorry you guys have to listen to this breathing, but this just isn't easy for me. So anyway, here's the end of the climb. And it's a pretty nice overlook on clear days. Again, Mexico City, man. Lots of pollution. So it's going to look a bit hazy. But man, we're still overlooking most of the city. Scratch that, most of Iztapalapa. What you see here faces to the east. So if you've ever been to Mexico City, unless you lived here, you probably haven't seen this part of it. This is all blue collar, industrial, and to be frank with you, a lot of poverty. Not the best area to live, but man, if you like climbing, you've got a mountain right in your backyard. So, there's always a silver lining. So, anyway, I'm probably going to rest. And now here's our descents. The road conditions aren't that good today, so I'm not pushing it. And we all saw the amount of people too. So, looking like a reckless bicyclist isn't gonna bring any goodwill my way. And you know, being a bicyclist in a big city, you need all the goodwill you can get. So I'm just gonna take it easy down here. Um, I've descended down here pretty quickly in the past with no people and with less debris on the road. In this section right here, you really get a sense of how steep that grade is. You can pick up about 30 miles an hour, no pedaling. I think I've done 36, 37 in that section before. We're going to brake here and we're just going to dip in. Man, what a fun mountain this is. You know, if you ever visit Mexico City, this really isn't that far away. And I skipped the part where you saw the cops, but there are actually police that guard the entrance of here. It's gotten a lot safer than it used to be. There used to be some issues with theft and crime, but nowadays it's really protected. All you got to worry about are pedestrians and, you know, not damaging your ego by falling down on one of these hairpins. But if you want to learn bike handling skills, go and find a high grade climb because that descent, you're going to be learning a lot about weight transfer. Whenever I brake, oh man, umbrella lady, is that a good or a bad idea? I don't think you could see much of anything with an umbrella in front of you. So anyway, a lot of your weight is transferring to the front, so I'm stretching myself as far back on the seat as I can go, and I use a lot of rear brake just so I'm not going to lock up that front and take any nosedives. That's pretty much the descent. I hope you enjoyed yourselves.
What happened? Well, that was my first time back in a little over a week, and to put it mildly, as you can probably tell, uh, you lose fitness very quickly. Not to say that I had too much to begin with. Um, so Cerro is pretty much my training mountain. I go over there a couple, sometimes 3 times a week, and do laps. And as you saw in the video, you know, one one relatively difficult effort up, uh, and I was gasping for air. I ended up going up for 3 laps, but I've done 10 with some pretty hard efforts and intervals within. Today that wouldn't have been possible. Another thing too, man, 1 week off of the bike and getting back onto the streets, uh, man, I made a lot of dumb moves. You probably counted at least 3. So it's one of those things. You acclimate yourself to the conditions, and it doesn't matter how long you've been doing something. What matters is how long of a break you've taken between your efforts. So, in my case, I just need to keep getting back out there, using lots of chamois cream so I can stop injuring myself so much, and just being consistent. That'll probably be the safest path forward and the most efficient way to those gains. Thanks, guys.